everybody, welcome to Elisa's Art Room. Tonight we're going to be working some more on my Bees and Blossoms junk journal. Y'all come in and say hi. We are currently live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, you're catching a replay either here or on YouTube. Get you guys pulled up so I can see chat. Hopefully someone will chime in and let me know the sound's okay. Trying to see if this sounds okay. So delayed. There it goes. It's so delayed on my phone. It's amazing. Anyway, sound seems fine. All right, so we're going to be working in this. I've got a whole bunch of little mini books I made. I showed you in a couple of videos ago. I don't remember exactly which one, but these little bitty mini books. We're going to decorate a page with them. I'm debating on just putting them on the page or doing a belly band. So I'm going to play with it, see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and grab this camera, pull it up top, and we can get started. Hey, Deborah. All right, iPad, get out of there. I think that's straight. Okay. So I wanted it in this signature. This yellow page here that I think will work. Oh, I was going to show you guys what I did with the other. I don't even remember what it was now. I'll find it and tell you. I decorated something that we did one on camera. Is it this one? No, I remember it has gold. Oh, it is this one. Okay. So this is this other one of those little pockets that I did. So on this one, what I did is a little bee there, and then this has like a gold kind of edging on it, and then on the inside we have that with a little bit of a background and some gold edging, and then a writing space. So that's what I did with those. So we didn't do them line. This one's very similar. And this kind of gold color, it's more like a copper. It's actually two colors because I didn't have that color. So what I used for that was I used my lunar paste and traffic cone and, sorry, it said trying to reconnect. Slippery when wet. Don't know why it's called that. It's a weird name. But these two, which is basically a gold, and then this is like a, it's kind of like a, I don't even know what color that is. It's like a pinky copper, but I don't know. They're calling it traffic cone, but it's not really that orange. It's orange, but it's definitely not that orange. It's more coppery. But anyway, so I used those two colors and I just mixed it on a tray, and it came out with this kind of coppery color. So that's where I got that from. And I think that's all I did without y'all. So we're going to be working on this page. Hey, Bonnie. Okay. So what is on the other side of that? I think it's just plain. Okay, everything's plain on there. So I have these 4 books. I don't have to use them all. I could just use 3. I feel better about the number 3, honestly. So I may save one for elsewhere. Just have to decide. Do I want to save this little black one that's only got like, it's got blank pages and then a little bit of bees in the middle? And do like these 2 because I think they kind of balance. Or do I want to get rid of one of the bees? I feel like this one is like an odd one out. So I think I'll just leave this one out. We're going to do 3 of them. I'll put this one somewhere. Just tuck it in a little spot somewhere or something. So I'll do that. So what I'm thinking is either make a page spread and just have them, you know, on here in some sort of a kind of random thing with background stuff and glue them straight to the page. Or I could do like a belly band with either, I've got this ribbon, so I could do like a belly band type of thing and then have a tuck under the belly band. I could either use just this ribbon or possibly, I've got this yellow. That yellow is, it's too cool, I think. I've got this material, it's a little bit warmer. Or I could do this kind of warm yellow on the back of it. And then the books. Or I could do just the warm yellow. It's got little bees on it. I found this at Dollar Tree a couple of days ago. I was like, oh, perfect. So either I could do just that. This will give it more stability. This is thick. This is like, I don't know what they're calling it. What are they calling it? Twill? Printed twill tape. So it's a little bit thicker. I could make that a little thicker, but I was trying not to go too much beyond the books. But yeah, I think that other yellow is just, it's too, I think it's too bright. Yeah, it's too cool. So maybe that, looking at what else I have. What do y'all think? Yellow and twill, just yellow. And do the belly band. I like the bees over the yellow. Okay. So bees over yellow for one. Because I'll use this somewhere. It can be either trim or on a pocket. It is very thick. I could also double this up. I have plenty of the fabric. And just tear another piece and double it up so it's a little bit thicker. If I need to. Alright, well, Bonnie says she likes that. We'll go with that. I don't really care one way or the other. If I tear 2 more pieces, I can, or 1 more piece, maybe I can just glue them together and layer it to make it thicker. I don't know if it needs to be thicker. It's not bad. This side is frayed from a tear. This side is frayed from scissors, and it's a little different. It's kind of bugging me. So I think I'll tear another piece. Grab it. Oh, twill. Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna make it just slightly wider, I think, so that it shows a little bit more. Okay, I'll do that. So let me find a good edge to tear. I think one's longer than the other. We'll go with this side. I was trying to save 14 inches of it. Yeah, I'm fine. because that's the size I need to do a journal, so that way I'll still have a piece that's reasonable for that if I decide to make another one. So I'm going to do this one, I think about here. There, a little bit bigger. We'll see if it's not too big. I don't think it is, but let me rub it on my table. Usually I spray it with water and flatten it out, but I'm not going to spray it right now. So I just need to rub it down. Where's that twill at? There, now it shows a little bit more. Does it show too much? Ooh, it's almost too big. Let me measure this again. Hold on. Okay. I don't think I can tear one side of this. It's too thin. I'll use this for a ruffle or something. Any of these scraps will just be used for ruffles, for pages. All right, let's just measure this time. It's always tricky tearing fabrics. Getting them exactly where you want them. Let me just make sure it's not the same as what I just did. Try that again. I keep trying to hit it at the same spot for some reason. All right, I think that's better. All right. So I'm going to fray the side just a little bit better. Here we go. Pull all these extras off. There, that's better. All right, much better. And then we'll cut this here. About there. All right, that's good. Save that for a ruffle. Save that for a ruffle. And then, now we have just a little bit of the bees showing. Okay, I wonder if this unravels. I assume it does. Yeah, it does. I wonder if it will, if it's affected by heat. Good question. It looks like cotton, so you wouldn't think it would be. But it might have a polyester inside, but I think it's cotton. I'm trying to see if it says anywhere on it, and it does. It says cotton, so I don't think you can burn it. So we're going to glue it. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of glue on the underside here. Hopefully it won't continue unraveling like crazy. Going close to the edge so that it'll be kind of what I glue down anyway. It's like if there's any polyester, you can usually just take a lighter to it, but when there's not, it doesn't work. All right. So, our glitter or Fabri-Tac? I'm leaning toward Fabri-Tac. I don't know if any of these bees will still show. I'm hoping they kind of show. At least a little bit. But chances are we'll kind of lose them all. Because the books are very big. They're not very big, but they are very big. They're kind of big. So I think I'll glue this down with probably Fabri-Tac. I don't know. I guess. We'll do that first so that it doesn't stick to the page. And then I'll have to figure out where I'm going to place those exactly. But we might not see a lot of the bees on the twill, but we know what they're there. I don't know how that works, but we know they're there. All right, fabric tack. I don't absolutely have to do the whole piece, but I probably will do up to the edge because I'm not going to use it. I don't want it to be mistaken as a tuck because that's not the idea of this part. Stay down. So this I'm going to glue down first. Won't go too crazy with the glue. It doesn't really matter if it shows through because obviously it's on the bottom. But I didn't want to put it on the page in case it goes through. All right, try to hold on to this. It's somewhat centered. I wasn't worried about it coming through the top of the twill, but I was worried about it coming through this back fabric. But it didn't too bad, amazingly enough. Just make sure it's down good. Seems like it's sticking just fine. Get this off my finger. Come off. All right. So we're going to put this on the page, but I'm going to decorate the page first. I'm not going to leave it plain. But yeah, I think that'll be pretty. So we'll decorate the page with something. Stencil or something. I am going to put things over it because there'll be cards or whatever in here. So you won't really see the page a lot unless you know, until you take the cards out. But I feel like it should still have something instead of just plain. So let's see what we got. I know I have a little bit of beehive type stencil. I have this burlap. I wish I had a smaller beehive, but I do not. My only beehive is kind of big. And Tim Holtz makes one. I just don't own it. I'm looking at things that might look okay. That's too, I think it's too busy. I have a half-tone dots. Kind of these little guys. Not sure what he calls them. But it's almost beehive-ish. They're dots, but the only other thing I have is that pot holder, which is kind of small. But my actual stencil that I have is big. I don't know if I want to go that big. I have this one. I don't know how distracting it would be if it's big. And I'm probably going to use like maybe warm honey. Maybe a mixture. That one from the honeycomb from here. This one, I think it kind of does too. Just, I don't know, something about because the holes aren't perfectly round. That's kind of what I thought. It kind of had the appearance of like a honeycomb. I think you're right. Got a couple of small bees in here. There's that little small bee. Could probably throw him somewhere. I know that I have a couple of small bees floating around somewhere. But I at least have that one. Where is my warm honey? probably use a combination of maybe warm honey, something. I want to two-tone it. I'll have to see. I have these two. I have warm honey, or not warm, wild honey. I don't know why I keep saying warm. There's probably something, oh, I know what it is. I bet it's, no, that's warm yellow or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. Tea dye, I think, is too brown. Yeah, too brown. So I have wild honey, which is a very warm. It's almost exactly this color, so I'm not sure if it'll show up by itself. I think I'm going to need to back it. I don't have to practice on. That was the only piece I had. I do have a yellow that's similar but not cardstock. Let me see if I can find it. I think this is similar but not cardstock. Yeah, that's pretty close. All right. I want to practice on something. I don't want to just throw it on there. All right, so if I use that, let's see how it shows up. Right side, right side. It does show up more than I thought it would, honestly. Can you see? Oh, you can't even see it on camera. I think that the light is hitting it. But it does show up. In person, it looks like this. But because the light is hitting where you guys are, it's probably not showing up very well. So it's not bad for a background. And then a couple of bees maybe floating around. I think that'll work. I could mix in, I'm wondering what this color would be. I don't, no, maybe vintage. Antique I think is too light. Pretty sure antique linen is too light, but let's see what antique linen looks like. I was thinking about giving a little bit of variety, you know. And granted, one's an ink and one's an oxide, I think. Yeah, see, that's very similar. So we'll do a mixture of this antique linen and that warm or wild honey. I'm gonna keep calling it warm because it's warm. I don't know. It just is. Where's the lid? Oh, there it is. Lost the lid. All right, so we'll do a mixture of those two. I think that'll work and give us a little variety. All right, so that'll be good. And then the bee, let's see. The color on the page is yellow, so I probably want to use black for everything but the wings. So if I do that, I'm going to use a brush. If I can find one that is about the right size. Might be too big. Let me find another one. Maybe this one. Let's see if I do. Where's my black? I could just do black soot. I could do archival, but I don't think I need to. So we'll just go with this. Let's see what this looks like. Shouldn't set stuff on my page. That's a bad idea. It's not a good idea. All right, let's see what this does. I just gotta think about what color I should. Okay, bug. Where are you? Go away. Little gnat. Seriously? What is your issue? I don't know what's up with the gnat. It's probably because we had a banana downstairs that got a little too ripe. See if I can stay within. This is almost not stiff enough. I might have to try a different one. That's not terrible. And then the wings I could do maybe antique linen. That might work. Let's see. Let's see. What does antique linen do? Line her back up. I just want them to show a little. Okay, that's feasible. I'll show you what it looks like up close. Feasible. Black and antique linen. All right, so that'll be cute. So that's what we'll do with that page. I think these will work. Almost needs to be stiffer, but I think I can work with it. So we have wild honey, antique linen, and black. Trying to be somewhat organized here. All right, I'm going to zoom in a tiny bit and try to stay in camera. Okay, seriously, Nat, I'd love to squish you, but I'm trying not to do it on camera. I don't like bugs. But Georgia in the summer, there's going to be bugs. All right, so let's see. Take this off. This is thick cardstock. I don't need to worry about it going through or anything. What's on the other side? Okay. I'm just going to pull this out of the way. All right, let's decorate this up in the right direction, right? Yeah. Okay. So most of the middle will be obviously not there, so we'll concentrate on the edge. Try to move down just a little bit. I think I'm still on camera. Waiting for my phone to catch up. Yeah, that looks good. So about there. So let's do our warm honey first or last. We'll do the warm honey last. We'll do the antique first. Okay. So we're just gonna I kind of want some of these smaller ones to show too, so just do a little bit like this. I'm not doing it everywhere. And I might try to line it back up, and I might not. A little bit there. Oh, that's not bright enough. A little more. Be stronger with your pushing. That's better. I'm gonna put it in the wrong ink. I'll try not to. It is tricky. Could almost just get away with this color, honestly. But I'm gonna do both. Just because I said I would. I feel like I just touched something. Alright, warm honey, wild honey. I told you I'm gonna keep calling it that. Alright, so did we bother trying to line them up? Probably it doesn't matter. I'm just going to try to go in between those areas I did. Yeah, that'll work. Just a little. I think it'll look a little better with just some variation to it. And it might not. It might look worse. I don't know. But that's what we're doing. Just give some variation. Yeah, that'd be fine. I could even just do it a lot more loose, probably. But we already kind of started that, so. That here, go here. Might need to go a fraction more in. No, that's not bad. It's probably not a bad thing to have some blank areas. I don't want too many, but some. That's not bad. I think I like that. All right, oh, I know what it is. I'm touching the card itself. It's like the oxides are very almost oily feeling. Just clean this off real quick. Usually I just run these under water in the sink, but I'm just going to wipe it off a little bit with some water. So it's somewhat clean. I'm quite getting it all over my fingers. Alright, you can go up there. Okay. And we're just going to put them kind of random. Where'd he go? There he is. Hey, little bee. So if I put you here, kind of looking like you're flying up. Yeah, that could be cute. And then maybe one flying down. Yeah, let's do that. All right, tape. Tape. I don't want to get the honey pot accidentally. I think this will be cute. And I'm going to put a little stronger tape to hold it down because I will probably move. Knowing me, I'll move. Try to tape it to the table there. All right, that should be fine. All right, so we want the black color first. We're going to do that with this little brush. This one's an essential stencil one. These others, I have these. These are makeup ones. They also aren't horrible. And then I have a brand I bought off of Amazon, which appears to be very well hidden right now for some reason. But I know they have black candles. What? Where are they? They gotta be in that jar. That's the only jar I use. Huh. Am I just really not seeing them? That's so weird. Oh, here's one. I don't know where the rest of them are. But this is a Artifa that I found on Amazon. And these are very similar to these essential stencil ones. So if you can't get those, that's a good one. It's on my favorites list. They both work almost the same. All right, so black for this. I'm going to do his little body first and try not to get into the wings, the body and the legs and the antennae and the head. So the middle, the whole middle part. I'm mostly stippling. The legs are the trickiest because they're real close to those wings. And I'm going to do the little motion thingy in black. Because why not? It's cute. You could also just do it in like brown or something. We'll do black. Oh, I'm pulling a little bit more black into the mix here. Okay, and then I want my wings, and what I say, tea-dye, antique linen. Try not to pick up any of my black because it is water-based and it will definitely transfer it. So I'll try not to hit it. It doesn't look like it's doing anything, but I know it is. It's so subtle. Okay. And then we can peek if we want. Make sure I can see the wings some. They're really subtle. I'm going to try a little bit more. It needs to be smaller, guys. Let me see if I have a smaller one. Or a firmer one. That's the problem. We'll try this one, see if it's a little bit firmer. Almost feels like hog hair, whatever it is. But it's not. It's a natural bristle. Right, where'd it go? Just make sure I'm lined up. I think I am. Yeah, that seems like it's covering better. The honeycomb is in there too, so, you know, it has to kind of compete with that. All right, that's feasible. All right, we'll keep that. And then we'll put one, I think up here, come down. Like about there. I don't want to stick it to me. All right. Come over here where I can reach you. All right, and I'm just going to do the wings first. Because the black will cover it up, and honestly that makes a lot more sense. I think this is a hog hair one. I have some that are more like that white tack-on. I just don't know where they are. Can't find anything right now. I'm just going to do several coats so I can get it on there good. Probably could use a dauber, but they're just too big. Alright, that looks good. I think I got it covered. Where's the black one? Oh, there it is. This little body and legs. It's a tight fit. Trying to get in there, not hit the wings too much. It's possible I could even do it with one of the tiny little liner type stencil brushes that I have. But they're pretty flimsy, so I just don't think it would work as well. Okay, let's see what we got. That's feasible. All right, that's cute. I think that'll work for our design. I think 2's enough. So put these up. This just will wash out with water. Where's the lid to that one? Oh, there it is. Okay. So we got that. We got our little belly band. So I'm going to glue this with, I think I'll stick with Fabri-Tac. There. Put there. This would be cute on its own, even without the books. Honestly. But we're going to put the books. But it is cute even on its own, honestly. Alright, so that should hold good. And then we want our little books. So these can be opened and looked at and written in. There's spaces for writing in all 3 of them. Some are lined, some are not. Some have lines. I know you can't see very well. I didn't really flip through any of these thoroughly. So this is a My Porch Prints digital. I showed you guys on that one live. It was like a couple of lives back if you want to watch me put these together. So what part are we on? 8, so it was probably like 6 if I had to guess. Aren't they cute? Stephanie or whichever one of the girls did it did a good job. Alright, so there's that. And we're going to put these on here. And we're just going to glue them. I think I'm going to angle them just ever so slightly. They don't have to be glued real hard. I want the bees to show a little bit, so I'm going to try to get it to where I can kind of get them to show just ever so slightly. So I can get this one to show kinda, and the top one to show kinda. The middle is a little trickier. Oh, sorry, wrong color. I'm trying to alternate the color. So like that, maybe. About there. That should work. I could possibly do Velcro. I don't know. I'm trying to think if it would work. I'm not sure how well the Velcro would hold to that. I have the little Velcro dots. Or I could just glue it down and it not be removable. They'll be openable, so you could still, they fold out pretty flat. I think you could still write in them just fine if they're glued down. Of course, having them removable would be kind of a benefit, because then you could just pull it out to write on it. You know what? I'll try one. I got to think about the glue, because the glue dots are okay. You know, they're not terrible, but they're not what I would call super strong. I could maybe add a little drop of, I'm debating Fabri-Tac or art glitter. I also have gem tack. I'm not sure if the gem tack's any stronger or not. Probably not. It might be. I honestly don't know. Any of these maybe. Let's go with Fabri-Tac, I think. It is. I'm not going to put glue on the whole thing, but I'm thinking, I don't know if I trust it. So I've got to remember which side pulls more. So I think I want the soft side on the book. So I'm going to put the soft side on the book first, I think. I just got to think about where it's going to hit. So it'll probably hit about right there. We're going to go for it. I'm just going to see where it needs to be. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit. It is very sticky on the book. I'm only going to put a tiny little drop in the middle, because it feels like it might be sticky enough on the book. I'm more worried about on here. It might be strong enough. I'll just put a tiny drop in the middle to give it a little extra oomph. I think just exactly the middle of the book should work. All right, so we'll put the soft part on the books. I'm going to do 3 soft pieces. This way they can be picked up. I'm just going to put... All right, air bubble. Move up to the top. It's getting too thick. Just a teeny little bit to kind of help it out. Like I said, I feel like it sticks to the paper fine, as long as it doesn't pull the paper away. That's the only thing. And then one more soft piece. Sorry, the hook and eyes are trying to stick together. I think this will be cool. I hadn't even thought about making it removable. Sometimes I don't think about things until I'm in the process. Alright, so we got to stick them. I mean, the harder you push down on the hook and eyes, obviously the harder it's going to be to remove, and therefore cause more pulling on the glue. So, you know, maybe just don't be too crazy on the pulling. All right, so let's see. This one's going to go this way. The direction I don't think is matter because it's right in the middle, so it shouldn't matter. I think I want them if I want this one this direction. I think I like that one that direction better. And this one this direction. I don't know why. Just directional thing. Alright, so this is going to go on the twill. So again, I think I'll just try putting a little bit of this in the middle. That way it's got some hold from its glue and then some hold from this glue. And hopefully one of them will be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this to the actual book. Make sure I'm in the right spot. That way I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm not going to stick it real hard. Kind of light. If I can get it to let go of my fingers. And then it goes this direction. So I'll figure out where I want it. Think about there. And then we're going to push it down. We'll let that kind of set up for a second. Pick another hook and eye one. Same thing. Should be cute, right? Oh my goodness, air bubble. My hole might be too clogged and air's not getting in there. Clean it just a bit. It's probably just getting thick. Every now and then this acetone I think starts drying up. And you either get new or you add some acetone. The Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix, all of those are acetone based. And it does start drying out after a while. Alright, so we're going to stick the hook and eye part. It is sticky. Try. Get it to let go of my finger. Alright, so this is going to go this direction. Make sure I'm in the right spot. Maybe not quite so angled. And look. Think about there. All right, stick that down. And the last one. These are weird. Usually the hook and eye is all opposite, but that's a hook and eye, and then that's a soft. I guess they're next to each other in this one. It was confusing me because I thought it was going to be all the one on the top and one on the bottom, you know, kind of situation, but no. Okay, a little tiny bit of glue. It's really stuck. Oh, this one. Oh my goodness. Now I could get that off. I think this is pretty good hook and eye glue. It feels pretty strong. So this one goes this way. So I think about right there. All right. Push all those down, and we're going to see if they will remove. I probably ideally should give it like a day to dry, but we're going to see what happens. Okay, so it stayed, that stayed. I think it'll be fine, especially once it dries up more. As long as there's enough glue here, which I think there is, it should stay. And then if this was to come apart, if one of you has it, just put some more glue on there and maybe a little thicker. I went about 1/4 inch on the glue, so it should. And like I said, if you don't push them down too crazy, it should work okay. It seems to be staying. So I would say just maybe don't push them too crazy. But all of them are removing, so that's good. I like that they're removable. I think that'll be cute. Okay, so there's our little page. Now we're going to put it in the signature and add some stuff under it. So this goes here. All right, so that's going to go like that. I'm going to sure it's not too crazy bulky. I know it'll be a little bulky. It's not terrible. That's feasible. The books are a little thick. Thicker than I would normally go on something, but I think it'll be fine. You won't be able to, definitely wouldn't be able to write on this page with the books in there. So having them removable is good for that. But I will also be making a writing board for underneath things too. So that'll help too. So I think it'll be fine. All right, so I picked out some cards. Let's see if I can find them out of the way here. So I'm going to use some, I think Graphics Fairy maybe. I got this one the other day, my Graphics Fairy freebies. If y'all sign up with Graphics Fairy, they send you freebies like Fridays, I think, maybe. But this was a cute one, and it's bee themed. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I think this one will fit. I just printed out several sizes so I'd have one. So we're going to put that in there. I think that's cute. I'm going to ink the edges. And then I thought about adding just an extra, but I don't know if I will. So I also had this one that was real cute. This one is a Liana scrap. So, you know, I had several that could be, you know, layered in there. But I think I'm just going to do this one because I think it's my best choice. But I did have several to choose from. I had that one, and this one. And this is my Porch Prints. They're all pretty, but I think that's best. So we'll use that there. We'll use the others somewhere in pockets sooner or later. So let's ink this. I don't know what I want to ink it with. Let me think about it. I don't want to go too dark, I don't think. Possibly frayed. You know, I'm going to grab one of those others because chances are I'm not going to use them anyway. Hold on. I just want to see what the ink looks like on it. I'll grab the next biggest one because chances are I won't use that one. I got to take off the white to tell for sure. I will do it up here. I'm just going to do a little test on this so I don't mess it up. So I thought about possibly doing the honey. It might be too orangey. Yeah, too orangey. So not honey. I don't think antique linen will even show up. I might go with frayed burlap. Yeah, I don't like the antique linen either. I have a feeling frayed burlap might be my best choice because it's got the blues and greens. And frayed burlap does often work really well with blues and greens. So grab the frayed burlap. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. Definitely. I think, can you even see it? Frayed burlap, I think is our choice. Picks up just that color kind of and everything else, so we will go with frayed burlap. Should I round it? I think I will before I ink. Where's my rounder? It's here somewhere. There it is. Would you mind turning up the volume? Oh, is the volume bad, sweetie? I didn't have anybody tell me if it was okay. Let me check. It should be all the way up. Oops, wrong way. Okay, yeah, it's all the way up. But sometimes the mic doesn't work good, so let me pull it in and out. We're going to test it, and you guys Sorry. Sometimes the mic doesn't connect. There's buttons all over the bottom of this. And I don't have good volume, and I don't realize it because nobody says anything. How is that? Is that better, Kim? I'll give you a second to reply because it's always delayed. So you let me know. I can talk a little louder. Usually if my mic's on and working right, it's fine. Deborah says she hears fine. Kim says that's a little better. All right, we'll go with that. I will try to talk a little louder. Yeah, I know. And it does depend on what device you're on. It really does. I know sometimes when I watch on my iPad, the volume is very different than when I watch on my phone. Even if they're both like all the way up. So it can, oh, I was going to round those. It can make a difference. But like I said, sometimes that mic just does not quite connect or something. I don't know. If I plug it in too soon, I have to wait for there's when you start a live, there's like a thing that comes up and says something about your page or something. I have to wait for that to show up. And if I do it before that shows up, it always doesn't work right. That's why you guys see me standing there looking at the live like I'm an idiot. So I'm like sitting there waiting for that thing to show up. All right, there we go. That's cute. I like it. Sorry about that. Sorry, I didn't know. Keep that frayed burlap there. Let's move all these inks over here. I think this is Dollar Tree hook and loop eye Velcro, but it could possibly be Hobby Lobby. I don't know. I don't have the bag anymore. So it's one of those places. All right, so this is going to go in here. I think that makes a really cute little spread. So cute. All right, so we have a little time left, and I debated on what I was going to do as a second thing if I still had time. And I think, so I don't know if I'll have time to do it. There is a project I saw. What did I have in here? Black? I think I had black in here. A second project I saw. I don't see my black dauber. I must not have had black in there. I must have had antique linen in there. I try to keep these the same so I know where things are. Sometimes they get, sorry, I have to organize or I can't function. Too OCD, I can't function if my table's a mess. These are just extra daubers. Alright, try to keep that frayed burlap handy because I think I might use it again. Oh my goodness, I have so much ink on my fingers. Yuck. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Kim. Thank you. And Bonnie says she can hear me fine. Okay, I'm glad y'all can hear me. It could have just been a weird little glitch. Sometimes it happens. Okay, so these just wash with water and just rinse it off. If you want any stencils that I used from Essential Stencil, I'll try to remember to put the link in there. I think that one's still available, that little mini one. I'm pretty sure it is. Pretty sure I said it was. What did it say? In stock, yeah. It's still available. It's an old one. It's been around for years. Okay, so what I want to do is it's a Hither and Yon thing. So it's what she calls her Goldilox pocket. Basically, it's a stacked pocket, which, you know, everybody does. But her video inspired me, so we're going to go off of her name and all that. Get this back out. but it's a stacked pocket. I did make a little prototype, and it's in her video where she talks, it's her big book of journal ideas, and one of the ones she's doing like book pages as backgrounds, and she calls it Goldilox with L-O-X, not L-O-C-K. Oh, I don't even know, L-O-C-K-S, I guess. She spells it different. But this is what it looks like. It's like a multi-stack tag kind of thing. And I did one in these colors just to have. I'm going to put this one probably in my idea book. But it's got three pockets, you know, mama, papa, baby kind of situation is the idea. Actually, it has 4 in this one. But the idea is that it has 3. These are a little snug, and then a big tag. So I thought I might try this. The one that she does on her video, which I will link, the measurements are totally different than my measurements because my book pages that I had were smaller. They were narrower than hers, which threw off all the measurements. I could have just used a piece of paper and got away from that, but I wanted to use the book page. So I came up with my own measurements to do it. But we'll do one on this. What does this one talk about? This is yellow wallpaper. The only part it's going to show is just a little bit of the top. I try to make sure that they say something that's not horrible. This one's talking about a collection of birds. Kind of sympathetic, nothing horrible. Nothing horrible. All right, I think we will go with we'll just go with this one. It's called the yellow wallpaper, and I'm going to be using some yellow, so we'll just go with that. So it's a little complicated. Put that right out there. It is a little complicated. But in essence, you really only need to think about the fact that you need pockets and tags that alternate. Go. Whew, okay. Sometimes I stutter. That go down in size. You know, from big to little. But we're going to try it with my measurements. I wrote down somewhere, and then we'll put it on a page somewhere. I'll have to figure out what page. Maybe the other yellow one on the other side of that. I don't think it's going to be super thick, so, and this really isn't that thick. So I've got these 2 papers. I'm trying to find my instructions, guys. They're here somewhere. They're on a big old piece of cardstock. Okay, there it is. So, instructions. These are my measurements. If you are working with a book page and you want to try to do this, and your book page happens to be a smaller book, which mine is about 4.5. The one she was using for her measurements, if you go to her video, was 5 wide. Okay, so I had a 1/2 inch less to work with. So I had to change all of the numbers. So mine is 4.5 by 7 3/4. Okay, which I believe was the same depth as hers. All right, so here's mine. If you want to take a screenshot. Is it in focus? I can't tell. I'm too close to the camera. I think it's in focus. I'll hold it there for 1 second. Okay. You can pause and take a screenshot. It's easier to do on YouTube, guys. I'm just going to put that out there. If you're on YouTube and you see something you like, all you have to do is scroll up twice on your TV. Scroll up twice, and then the wording will all go away, and you just have the picture. And you can take a screenshot of it, or a picture with your camera or whatever. That's what I do. Okay, so this is the Yasm papers I have that are B. They are double-sided. They do not need to be double-sided because you're making pockets, which you'll only see one side of, but then you're making tags that you might want for journaling on. So you might not want them to be double-sided, or you might want them to be double-sided with something that you can still write on. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking of. So I'm going to try to use a combination of this, and I think this is a one I got on clearance. It's a Paper Studio cardstock sunflower design, but it's got the colors are in the right scheme. So we're going to see what we can pick. She does it with 3 because 3 works out well, because you want several colors so that you can vary it. Like in this, I have these 3 colors. I have this yellow, and then these sunflowers, and then the black and white. So you want to be able to have at least 3, ideally. My thing seems so close. I know I'm zoomed all the way out. I am. All right, anyway, we're not going to worry about it. So I'm going to use this. I think I'll use honeycomb maybe for 1. And then I just need things that ideally aren't directional. I think almost all of these YASM papers are very directional, which isn't great. This one's not too bad. You could get away with that not being directional because the bees can go pretty much any angle. So I think I could use that. I don't know if I want to go with this really dark color. I want 3 that look compatible together. You know, I don't, this is my least favorite of these papers. It's not horrible. The bees are kind of weird to me. We've already used that one a bunch. This one's not direct, it's very directional, so I don't think we'll use that. I also don't like this gray. In the right place, it's fine, but it's kind of a pain otherwise. I think that's going to be too directional. I might have to go into the sunflower one. Also very directional, I think. Yeah, all of those flowers have the stems going the same way. You know, could you do it anyway? Sure. This isn't terrible. I wouldn't be able to write on any of these except that. And then I have this sunflower. I could do those 3. That's not terrible, is it? And then not use the sunflower papers. Or I could throw one of these in. But I think this might be fine. Because you could write on this, you could write on this. This is the only one you'd have to add something to write on if you were going to do that. And then of these, yeah, I don't know about any of these really. The colors are very bright. I mean, that's not bad, but it's still not writable. I'd rather keep 2 that are writable, I think. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do these 3 pages. So we're just using the YASM papers then. And I've used these a lot, I know, because I'm down to 1 sheet. So I know I've been using them because I think it had 3 sheets each. So what you do, it's complicated, but all right, so you get your paper, stack all 3 up that you're using. Stack all 3. And then you need a cutter, which I don't have over here. Can I use, I think I can use this one. I was going to grab my guillotine, but I think I'll use this one. It's not great. This arm doesn't stay out well. Am I in screen? I must have my tripod really low today because I'm not getting the whole image here. I know I'm zoomed here. I'm going to touch it and see. Yeah. I'm zoomed, I think. Let me see if that was any better. Oh, that's better. All right, it just didn't zoom. All right. So the first cut is 6. Straight up, just either side, as long as you're not super directional, and honestly it doesn't matter because it's going to get turned anyway. So cut it at 6. So we're going to attempt to see if we can do this on this cutter. said, it's not my best cutter. Just got to make sure that the arm is all the way open. All right, I think it's good. Might not. I might have to grab the guillotine. Oh yeah, it's barely cuts through all three. I'm gonna have to grab the guillotine. All right, 1 second. I didn't want to have to get that big old thing out. Okay. Get the light back on. Okay. So we have 2 stacks of the 3, both 6 inches. Grab one of your 6-inch stacks and you're going to cut it on the long side. So you're going to turn it long ways and you're going to cut it at 4 inches, 3.25, which is 3 1/4, and 2.5, and then whatever your drop is, which in my case is like 2 1/8. So we put it on here and we're going to do 4, okay, and then we're going to do 3.25, 3 1/4, okay, and then we're going to do 2.5, which is 2 1/2. And then the drop that I am left with on mine, hers is a little bit different because my measurements are different, but my drop is about 2 inches left. Okay. So we have these stacks. So what we have from this is the 4x6 stays the same. Okay, you don't do anything to that. That's going to end up being your large pocket. So the one at the top, I'll just get this. This is this. Okay. And once I have room, I'll stack all these out. But that's what that is. Okay. The 3.25 is cut at 4 2/4, which is going to give us journaling card pieces. Nothing to do with this. It's just something to go behind. So this one ends up being a journaling card. It's just something to go behind, but you got to cut it. So turn it. We were this way. Now we're turning it sideways, and we're cutting it at 4 1/4. So 4.25, and that's going to give you a little piece for a journaling card and a little piece to do something with it. It could be a pull tab or something else. So just keep those pieces separate. This is why this is confusing, because it's just a lot of cutting. The 2.5 piece that we cut, this one, is cut at 3.25. It becomes our small pocket. So it becomes this. So we turn it sideways. We cut it at 3.25, which is 3 1/4. Just double checking. Yep. Making sure they're all together. You cut all 3 at once. That way it basically ends up giving you 3 to work with. You can make 3 of these out of it. But it also eliminates you having to do each page individually, and it's just easier, trust me. All right, so that's this piece. So keep those separate. We're going to put that with the pocket one. And then that last little piece, the 2.5 one. Oh, we just did that one. That's our small pocket. The drop off of it is, let me see what I wrote for the drop. Okay, the drop off of it is a thing? No, okay. The drop off of it is 2.75 by 2.5, and you want to take the 2.75, which is 2 3/4 side. You gotta see which one that is. That's 2 1/2. Oh, mine's 2 1/2. Hold on. the 2.5, no, and drop of 2.75 by 2.5. Did I cut that right? No, it's right. I don't know. My drop is different. 2.75, 2.5. Interesting. Assume I cut it the right way. I don't know. This ends up needing to be 2 by 2.5. So we're going to cut on the 2.5 side at 2. I'm just going to make sure it's square. I don't know why it's square, but it is. It's fine because it doesn't. Well, it does make a difference because now I don't have a piece here that I want. I don't know. We'll get it. A lot of these pieces are drops and they turn into tags and tucks and things, so don't stress if they don't cut out perfectly. I am not sure why this did not cut to the measurement it should have. Maybe I didn't do 4.25, 3.25. 2 is 3.25. 2.5 is 3.25. Yeah, I'm not sure because I tested it and it worked. I'm a little confused right now. All right, we're just going to go with it. This small pocket is the right size, so it's fine. That's the main worry. This is actually that little piece at the bottom right here, so it should be a little bit bigger. I don't know why it's small. I do know why it's small. Oh my goodness. Everything's going to be off, guys. I forgot. Yasm, in all their glory, decided to give me paper that is 11 3/4 square. It is not 12 square. That's why. So, we're just going to go with it. It'll work out fine. If I have to, I'll use another piece to get this. It's fine. As long as I can make it work. This last piece, that is 2. So if you start with a 12, you'll get it right. I didn't start with a 12 because I didn't know it. I wasn't. Didn't know. All right. So our 2 by 2 is still correct. So that's still right. That's fine. And now we're working with this last little drop piece, which says 2 1/8, but mine is only 2, which is why mine is only 2, because the paper wasn't the right size. This one becomes, where is it at? It's cut to make tags. Doesn't matter. Did I freeze? No. So this is cut to make tags, so it can be whatever. We'll just leave it aside. We'll put it with the journaling card because that's kind of whatever you want, really. Now we're going to the next 6-inch piece, which is really 6 by 11 3/4 instead of 6 by 12, but we're going to make it work. Okay, so now the second one, where's that? Cut lengthwise at 3.25, leaving 2.75. You will have 3.25 by 12 and 2.75. I'm wondering which one gives me my middle pocket. I want to make sure I have that at least. The tag I can deal with being wrong. So the 3.25 by 4.75 is the middle pocket. Okay. So that's 6. This goes this way. Still 6? Okay. So this one we're going to cut at the long ways. I called it lengthwise at 3.25, leaving 2.75. That will still be the same because it is the same. It's still 6 inches. So 3.25 is 3.25. 3.25, and then that leaves us with, it should be 2.75. Yeah, 2 3/4. So these are right so far, except the length. And out of this, we need to get our middle pocket and our large tag. The middle pocket size, it's more important to me than the large tag size. So the middle pocket is the one that is 3.25 by 4.75. So 3.25, this is the large tag. This one we're going to cut at 4.75, so 4 3/4 to get our middle pocket. So right now we've got our stack, and we got mama pocket, baby pocket, or papa pocket, mama pocket, and baby pocket. I'm trying to get designs that are different so you can see better. Okay, so we have our 3 sizes. These are fine. And you can put them, you know, in the middle. You could put them off to the side. Doesn't matter. She says that too. So there's that. That's right. We got our large, our drop from that says, where's the drop? I'm trying to find where it says what it is. It's the large tag. Okay. So this drop from that, what I just cut from the middle pocket, is the large tag. So that's the piece that goes here. It's this piece, which this one is probably a little bit longer. It is, which is really too long anyway, so I will be fine. I thought it was a little bit on the long side because it really sticks up over the book page. So this will be fine for that. So there's our tag. We'll put that, I don't know where I have a pile for tags. I don't really have a pile. All right, we'll put that there. Then we've got this piece that's left. That's 2.75. Yeah, 2 3/4. And this one you cut twice at 5 1/4 to give you tags and tags for the middle pocket. Okay, so since we know this is short, if I cut it at 5.25 twice, I'm going to have a different drop. So let's see, what would I get? 5.25 is 5 1/4. I'm just going to see about where this is going to hit. So that would be 5 1/4. And then 5 1/4 would leave me this drop of about 1 1/4. Does it say what I want to do with that drop? It doesn't. So that'll be fine. If needed, I could use that drop for this piece that ended up being too small. So that'll work out fine. So we'll do 5 1/4 like it says. And 5 1/4. You don't have to have 2 tags for the middle pocket. I think it's kind of overkill, but that's the way her measurements were, so I just stuck with it. So this is just tags for the middle pocket. Put that in our tag pile. I'm going to save this to cut down to be this. Okay, and I'll just have to cut it down a little bit to fit there because this is just too small. It's kind of feasible, but the brads are going to take up a lot of room, and I don't think it's a good idea. So we'll keep these for that. So it worked out okay. We still have enough stuff to make pockets and tags and stuff. So that's how that works. Get this out of the way. What time is it? All right, I think we're okay. So now you want to get your pockets all lined up. Page. And then all your other little pieces you can just figure out what to do with. A lot of them aren't important. The main ones are your pockets. Because if your pockets don't fit right, then, you know, you got to figure out everything. But the main idea is to get your pockets the same. You could totally just cut this out of any paper you have and make these pockets and then throw tags of any type in there. It would work fine. But, you know, we're doing her little thing, so. So we have to make, it makes 3. You don't have to do 3, but. So you start out with your 3 piles. And you just alternate your colors. You think about what will look best. do that. And then this, no, this, and then this. And then we'll do this one here, this one here, and this one here. Okay, so that's our 3 colors that we have. You can mix mash any way you want, but I think that'll work out. Debating if I want to switch this. These match so much. Let me see something real quick. If I... No, because that's the same. Yeah, that's really the only way I can do this, I think. Okay, we'll go with that. Then you want to ink, round, and put your notches. Okay, so each of these sets, and we're just going to pick one to work with right now. I like this best. So I'm going to work with this one for today. Yeah. And then I'll save these. I will probably make another one at some point, maybe. Or I'll just use them for something else. You know, you don't have to make another one. But. So we're going to work with this one. So what you want to do is get your notches in there. If you want all of your cards lined up and your notches at the same point, then put your cards all together. Line them up at the top. You know, space them where you want them. We'll go there and then make yourself a little notch. She had a little handy dandy, kind of like a V-shaped notch. I don't have that. I guess it's like an envelope maker notch, I'm guessing. I don't know. So we're going to use this one. Okay, so we got all our little notches at the same time. Just make life easier. And we're going to ink all those in a minute. And then ink this and get the pockets glued down. And then we have our little piece that I said we're going to make that little thing out of. I think I will make it, let's see, I think this is the piece that goes inside it. So if this goes inside it and I do that color, if I do honeycomb, that's not bad. I think I'm okay with that. So we'll do those two that way. I'll put that with my pile. And then for the small pocket, where's that? There it is. I think this was the small one. Maybe. Trying to alternate them enough. And if it gets too much, you could just use other papers. You don't have to use these papers. That's not bad there. It's a little tall. I don't know why. Maybe it was this. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's this, but I just didn't bother cutting it down. I'm just going to cut it wherever I need to. I'll do that in a minute. And then the large tag is this one. Probably that. Probably that. And then figuring out how to alternate them so they work is honestly probably the most confusing part. I might have to do the bees. Especially because I'm only dealing with 3 colors. I think that's what goes there. We'll do the bees in the back. And that can go there. Something there. Oh, it's one of these. Let's just go ahead and cut one. No, it's not one of those. Hold on. I gotta see which one it is. Is it one of these? My pieces got all discombobulated, so now I don't know what's what. All right, I think it was this one. It looks like it'll fit. I think it was that one. All right, so we'll put that there. This here, and then maybe honeycomb. Yeah, probably honeycomb there. All right, so this just needs cut for a tag size, which looks like maybe about here. Hers was like 4.25. I'm going to do 4. I think 4.25 is a little high. I don't like my tags too tall. Can I even, let's see. I don't like the ones with the arms. They kind of bug me. We'll do about 4. Approximately 4. Alright, so we'll cut that one there. These are extras we don't really have to have. I don't want a ton of tags because I just don't want to deal with it, honestly. These are all extras. This is extra middle pocket. What is that? Oh, that's a journaling card. That's what it is. That was a journaling card. I'll keep that there. I'll still do a journaling card because I want something to go behind it. And this I don't need. So that goes with the journaling card in a different color, ideally. This one, I think. Yeah. No? Yes. Hold on. Yes. We'll do B. I like the contrast of the B. So hopefully I haven't totally confused y'all. I told you it's confusing. I didn't make the design. Don't yell at me. It is a little confusing. All right, so we're going to use frayed burlap. I think that'll work well on all these colors. I could probably get away with just vintage photo or something, but I will go with frayed burlap. And then we're going to ink everything and round corners because I like corners rounded. Did I round the corners on pockets? I did. So I rounded everything. So we're going to rounding the corner when you have thread is a little tricky. But I'm going to try not to cut the thread. See if I can get it in there and not cut it. Okay. You don't have to round corners, guys. It's totally up to whatever you like. I need one of those corner rounders that has all the, like 3 or 4 different sizes, because I only have one size corner rounder currently. So this is got to be cut down to fit this exactly. So we got to trim it right here. And it could stay that width. I'm going to go a little narrower, I think. But it could stay that width. But I'm gonna make it a little more even on this honeycomb. I'm just gonna eye it. Yeah, we'll go that width. Okay, so that'll go there. So was it rounded? I don't think it was. Yeah, that's not rounded. The little the belly band. So no rounding on that. I do want rounding on this. And then some of these I cut as tags instead of like journaling cards. So like if I want, say, this one, this middle pocket tag, to be more like a tag, we can cut just the bottom rounded, and then we'll do the top in like a tag shape. So just pick one that you like. I have this little card I made. I've actually got 2 of them. I've got another one. The sizes are slightly different. I don't see my other one. It's in here somewhere. They get buried. I don't see it. We're going to use this one. I think I'll just go with this one. You just line them up to your edge. It's storming. Can you hear it? And we're just going to cut that. And you can also do the pick up the little piece and go over here, but that's so much more of a pain, guys. Make yourself one of these. They're not hard to make. I just used a little credit card type piece that I was going to throw away. It's a lot easier than trying to pick up that little piece and line it up. So that becomes a tag. We'll put that there. This one I'm going to round. I think it's a cute little pocket, though. I do like it. I like stacked pockets anyway. And I saw this and I was like, you know what? This is cute. DJ does a lot of good stuff. I hope she doesn't think I'm just stealing all her ideas, because I know we all share with each other, but, you know. And I always say who I got the idea from. I don't try to really steal it. Alright, so that is our back pocket. And this is our big tag, which could also be tag shaped. I'll go with tag shaped. So I'll just do the bottom, and then I'll do one of these bigger ones. We'll do this one. And turn it around. Okay, so that's tag shape. I might punch a hole too. I haven't decided. So I think I got all those. I get all the rounded corners. Looks like, oh, this one. This one gets rounded. This is the tag that goes in, I don't know. It goes in one of the holes. We're just going to round it. And you can decorate this up pretty, which we'll probably do on another live because I don't think I'll have time today, but we're going to get it made. All right, so now we're going to ink. Fun, fun. So if you're watching a replay and you can fast forward through me inking, go for it. If you're live, sorry. You have to stay while I torture you. We're going to put a little brad in this one. Do that in a second. On that first one I did, I used my mini brads, the Tim Holtz mini ones. I might use a normal size one on this one because it's a little bit bigger. It's got a little more room. The other one is, I think, exactly 3/4 of an inch wide. But let's get all these inked up. Try not to spend too long. This one you can't see a lot of. It still shows. It does still show. That's a nice thing about this frayed burlap. It's very versatile. Alright, so there's that one. We should put holes in these just because. See if I can actually find the center and put a hole in them. Like I said, these can become journaling spots as long as you can still write on it. I think a black pen would show up on this fine. Okay, there's that. I don't want this one. I'm doing very fast inking, so sorry if it's messy. Okay, that goes there. And last one. Okay. Okay, there's our pieces. Oh, we didn't ink this. This I cut out with my deckled cutter. It is, what is it? It's a Tonic Studios, Tim Holtz Tonic Studios decal cutter. Got it for a gift for something. One of my birthday, Mother's Day, I don't know, something. Almost at the point where we can start gluing. So I would say you could probably do 3 of these in an hour if you really concentrated on it, you know, did them all 3 at the same time, laid them out at the same time. You could probably get them all 3 done. All right, so first pocket. So our biggest pocket goes here. I tried to get it to fit inside my thread. I didn't want to get it any smaller than this, so it just barely fits inside my thread. That was the goal when I made these, was, you know, so that some of the threads still showed because I had the zigzaggy stuff. So it shows a little. It's you know, that was as small as I was dared to go. I don't know. These books were my kids', so 3 sides. They were my kids' school books, and they're those little condensed ones. And it had like multiple stories in it. Okay, so line up your first pocket. And like I said, wherever you want it. If you want them to be off to the side or in the middle, that's up to you. I'm going to have them kind of in the middle. So I'm lifting it from the bottom just slightly. Could line it up exactly with the bottom, but I think it looks a little bit better. Lift it up just a little bit. I'm trying to get straight. There. I think that's relatively straight. Okay. So that one. Here, let's do this before I forget. So you just need something to poke a hole and a brad. 2 brads. Now this is totally optional. You don't have to do this. I have some with buttons. I know I have a black one with buttons. Is it this one? Nope. Where's it at? It's in here somewhere. Is it this one? There it is. Alright, we're going to do these 2 button ones. So they look like... Alright, light. Can you see them? They look like buttons. These are the only fancy brads I have. I don't really have much in the way of fancy brads. One of these days I'll buy some. Alright, we'll use those. And then we're just going to try to find the center of this. So let's see. Stick it there. And I'm just going to make a little mark. Too far in because you want to be able to still get your tag in there. If that tag's too big and I can't get it in there, I'll just make it smaller. But the idea is that it still has room. And then make sure you have room for the head of whatever size brad you're using. So I'm going to try to go about there, I think. And then about the same on the other side. I think about there. Do you have those, Bonnie? They're cute, aren't they? I'm just going to use an awl. You could honestly use a crocodile or something, but I've got an awl that'll work fine for this. Thread's coming out. So just poke holes. Okay. I think that's big enough. Those aren't super wide. And then we're going to stick those in there. And we're going to put the legs so that they're long ways. If I can see it. That way, hopefully we can... I'm going to put a little bit of masking tape on here just to help with it not to hit my... Hold on. I was thinking something and I'm trying to remember what I used for this. I usually use something to spread out the legs but then tamp it down, and it's not this. I really don't know what it is. What is it I'm normally using? Huh. Interesting. I really don't know. Well, we'll use our bone folder. No, that's real bone. We're going to use our hammerhead on here. I just want to, I must have used the awl. That's what it was. I put my awl away already, so I was kind of confused as to why. So I was thinking I had a bigger, head to hammer with. And it was the other side of my awl I've been using. Oh my goodness, I can't hold on to it. It's tiny. Stay in my fingers. Okay, let's get this side. Just trying to line up those legs. That's what it was. It was definitely, I was using y'all. That's okay. I got the hammerhead here. All right, legs, cooperate. I just wanted to lay nice and flat. So I'm going to throw a little piece of masking tape on there just to give it a little extra protection from snagging. So I'm just going to cut it. So I'm just going to tape that right on top of that little guy. You know, could you just glue around it and it'd be fine? Maybe. I really don't know. Probably, but we're going to give it some extra protection. All right, so there's that. All glued down. Now, this goes on top of the smallest pocket, so the baby pocket. And it just goes wherever you want to put it. I'm going to put it, I think, about there. And then this goes inside, so let's see if it'll still fit approximately. Yeah, I might have to trim that just ever so slightly. I'll try to stay, but you do have the brad legs to deal with. So, all right, so put this here. I think I'll go about here. Try to get that to hold. I'm trying to push the glue out instead of in. Whenever you're dealing with something, you don't want to glue it more toward the inside. When you push down, just make sure you push your glue more out. It'll go all over your table, but it helps keep it from seeping in instead. Okay, so cute. And then this is supposed to go in here, so let's see if it'll fit. I think it's going to be too wide. It'll barely fit. Well, it's not terrible. We'll leave it for now. If it acts like it's going to be an issue, I'll trim it. But it seems okay. All right, so there's that. You could put as many brads on this if you wanted to decorate more with brads. You could totally do that. All right, so we have our first pocket. It's already glued down. So this is for our big tag. Okay. It should fit in there perfectly. Okay. See, I have plenty of room to trim that because it's still very tall. So this one goes here, or it could go here. It could go over here to the side. It could go over here to the side, and then the last one over here. Or it could go in the middle, and they all just line up. I don't know. I kind of like it off center. What do you think? What if I kind of vary it a little? Kind of like that. Do y'all like that? If I vary it a little instead of just having it straight up center? Your tags will be altered, you know, they won't be lining up, but sometimes that's a good thing. All right, I'm going to put holes in these tags. So I'm going to try to find the middles. You like it off center too? All right. So I'm going to put a little hole there. So let me find my hole punch. I might actually use my regular hole punch and then put a hole protector on there. We're going to run out of time. I think I can find the center here. Let me find the center. So I lined them up so I can do them at the same time. So I'm just going to put it on my grid. Oh, as not a center mark. There? Yeah, there. Okay, so right about here. Let's see if I can punch it in the right spot. This one's hard to line up. All right. There. Hopefully I have room for my hole protector. I should have dropped it down just a little bit. I think I have hole protectors. Ooh. Well, I know I have them. I just don't know where they are. Where are they? I saw them just the other day. There they are. You don't have to use these, but have them, I might as well use them. Some of these I've inked and stamped and things. So I've got some black ones here. Put that on here. It should be about, this glue is horrible, so these are probably 20 years old. They're very old. So they do not have a lot of glue. A lot of glue to them. All right, put a little hole protector there. Probably should put one on the back just because. Are we going to run out of time? We're totally going to run out of time. These I inked with some archival ink, I believe, and then I stamped it with one of my just book page writing type stamps. I don't know which one it was. Well, I kind of know which one it was, but I don't know the name of it. So for the other one, let's see. That's not bad. I don't have like an orange one made. I could make one real quick, but then I'd have to find my plain ones, and I don't know where those are. So I think I'll just use one of these. The color's not bad. I think it'll be all right. They have writing. There. Now those are a little better. Put my hole protectors up. Okay. So this can go here. Oh, I haven't glued these yet. Let's glue them. All right, so I wanted this one here. All right, so this one here. So about, looks like about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. So 3 sides. I don't want to spend too extra time because me and my daughter haven't eaten yet. And it might be my last chance to eat anything decent for a while because I'm getting a tooth pulled tomorrow. Which I am not looking forward to because I am terrified of dentists. And I don't say that lightly. I'm going to be a big baby. It's not going to be good. Alright, and then baby bun can go, I think I had it below. Yeah, I think it looks good below. So y'all keep me in your thoughts, send me good energy, whatever. Hopefully it'll go fine. They won't have any issues with my wisdom tooth that's right next to it. And then, no. Too far down. Forgot where I was sticking it. Right there. Yeah, I won't have any issues with, dry socket after. Never had one pull, but these are the things that people say. Sorry, I'm just going to put some powder on that glue. I don't want it to be an issue later. Okay, so there. Now we have offset. So this goes here. It's snug. It could be, this paper is not as thick as some of the papers. It's not terrible, but it's a very light cardstock. I don't know what the weight is because it didn't tell me. It's hard to get in when it's not glued down too. I might have to make it smaller. It fits, but it just barely fits. It's snug. I'll have to decide if I want to make it a little bit smaller. And then that goes there. And then this goes here. Did I say it just barely fit? Yeah, also just barely fits. Okay, and then this is a journaling card. We'll do this next time, but the idea is that it goes behind the page. It's glued here, and then this will go back here, and then have like a tab on it or something. So I'll make that next time. So we'll keep this with this. Probably in, I think I decided, do I want honeycomb or do I want that? Maybe that. And you don't have to put this behind. It could be anything, but we'll put that behind. So then you gotta just find a page for it to go in the book, and you are done, other than decorating, which we'll play with next time. What goes in the second pocket? Did I miss something? Oh, I did. Okay, thank you. Let me find it. I had it cut. Where is it? It was one of these, right? Where's the third one? No. I might have lost it up here somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Is that it? That's it. There it is. I found it. We're just going to round it. I'm not going to do a tag. It could be a tag. It could also be a tag. We'll just round it for now. Yeah, I lost it. Thanks for pointing that out, Bonnie. Somehow I missed it. There we go. All right. There. Okay. Now we got everything. I think I got it all. Okie dokie. So that's that. And then, like I said, we'll put it somewhere. Don't ask me where. I don't know. Somewhere it looks good. So that's pretty full. We could put it on that yellow page. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I like it there. So that is on the other side of this. It's good with this because this is the same brand paper. So that's probably where I'll put it. I'm not going to do it right now. For right now, I'll just... Am I zoomed in again? Sorry, I keep getting zoomed in. I think it'll look good there. And what I'll do is glue 3 sides. Here, here, here. And then this will be the tuck for the journaling card or whatever we want to put back there. Okay? And then the tags can be decorated a little. If they're really snug, if you're going to decorate it, you might want to thicken it up a little bit or something, or cut them down a little bit. But they're mostly for journaling kind of situation. But we can decorate a little bit somewhere maybe. I'll see what we have. So for right now, we're just going to paper clip this in here, and we will deal with it next time, because I am out of time. Is it cute? It's cute, right? So here, we'll just stick this little guy on here. There we go. All right, so we got our book page with a belly band. That's just journaling space. And we have our Goldilox style pocket. Okay? All right, that's it. So I will be back. It's going to be a while, guys, because I'm not going to be in any condition to be on camera. So, probably Monday. Tomorrow's Thursday. It says the third day is the worst. I don't know why. But so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe Monday. We're going to play it by ear. If not, it'll be Wednesday. Okay, I know it's a big gap, but y'all are just going to have to deal. I'm not going to be having any fun. I don't know what I'm going to eat. I'm like, it says you can't hardly eat anything but soft food. It's like I haven't been eating but soft food for weeks. I've already dropped 6 or 7 pounds. I only weighed 126 to start with. I'm down to like 118. I'm like, if I lose any more weight, I'm going to be anorexic. So it's no good. I got to find things to eat. So if y'all have any idea what you can eat that you don't have to chew, let me know. Send me a private message. I would love to know, because I don't know what to eat. And it has to be lukewarm. It can't be hot. It can't be cold. It's been really challenging trying to find things. So anyway, y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah, mashed potatoes is the only thing I saw listed. And I can't do ice cream. It's too cold. It kills me. So, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.